Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak to your heart today. I want to talk to the weary, the broken, and the discouraged, to the one who feels like they have nothing left to give, to the one who has cried out in the silence of the night, wondering if things will ever change. I have a message for you. Life's battles are not won by those who start strong or those who have all the advantages. They are won by those who refuse to quit. The journey of life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments that test our resolve. Many people give up too soon, walking away from the breakthrough that was just around the corner. But those who keep going, despite the pain, the fear, and the uncertainty, are the ones who taste true victory. Endurance is what separates those who succeed from those who fall by the wayside. When the road is smooth, it is easy to keep walking. But when obstacles rise, when storms rage, when everything in us screams to turn back, that is when true character is revealed. It is in these moments that we must make a choice, to press on or to surrender. The world is full of people who started something great but never finished. They began with enthusiasm but lost their drive when the journey became difficult. The ones who cross the finish line are not always the fastest or the strongest, but they are always the most determined. There is a reason why the most inspiring stories are about people who faced overwhelming odds and yet persevered. Think about the individuals throughout history who changed the world. They were not without struggles. They faced rejection, failure, and hardship, but they kept moving forward. They understood that every battle is won not in a single moment, but through consistent effort over time. They knew that success is built on endurance and that no defeat is final unless you allow it to be. Every person faces battles unique to their own journey. For some, it may be the struggle of overcoming personal failure. Perhaps they have made mistakes that haunt them, choices they regret. The temptation is to believe that their past disqualifies them from a better future. But the truth is, failure is not the end of the road. It is a lesson, a stepping stone, an opportunity to grow. Those who keep going despite past failures discover that resilience is more powerful than regret. For others, the battle is against discouragement. Life has a way of beating people down, making them feel small and insignificant. Dreams that once burned bright can fade under the weight of disappointment. It is easy to let doubt take control, to believe the lie that success belongs to someone else, someone stronger, someone more fortunate. But those who win in life are not those who never feel doubt. They are those who refuse to let doubt control them. They fight through discouragement with faith, holding on to the belief that something greater is ahead. Some battle against fear, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown. Fear paralyzes people, keeping them stuck in a place of hesitation. But battles are not won by those who stand still. They are won by those who move forward, even with trembling hands and uncertain steps. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep going despite it. Then there are those who battle against time. They feel as if they are running out of it, as if they are too late, too old, too far behind. But life is not a race against others. It is a personal journey, and progress is made one step at a time. Those who succeed are not the ones who rush ahead, but the ones who keep taking step after step, no matter how slow. The battles of life are won by those who refuse to quit. They keep going when others stop. They rise when they fall. They press forward even when the odds seem impossible, because in the end, it is not about how many times you stumble, it is about how many times you stand back up and keep moving forward. Struggles are often seen as obstacles, as things that stand in the way of our happiness and success. But what if struggles were not meant to break us, but to shape us? What if every challenge, every hardship, and every painful experience had a purpose greater than what we can see in the moment? It is easy to look at difficulties and ask, why me? It is natural to want to escape pain, to wish for a life without problems. But the truth is, struggle is not meaningless. It is a tool, a teacher, a refining fire that prepares us for what lies ahead. Every person who has ever achieved something great has walked through struggles. The strongest people you know, the ones who inspire you, are not those who had an easy path. They are the ones who faced adversity and refused to let it define them. Struggles build character. They develop perseverance, patience, and resilience. Without challenges, there is no growth. Just as gold is purified in fire, our struggles refine us, making us stronger, wiser, and more capable. Struggles also teach us important lessons that we could never learn in comfort. When everything is going well, we rarely stop to reflect. We do not question our choices or think deeply about our purpose. But when we are faced with difficulties, we are forced to grow. We discover who we really are and what truly matters. Hardships push us to dig deeper, to find strength we never knew we had. They teach us humility, reminding us that we are not invincible, that we need help, that we need faith. Pain has a way of opening our eyes. It strips away the distractions and reveals what is truly important. Sometimes struggles come to redirect us, to show us that we are on the wrong path, that we need to change something in our lives. Other times they come to prepare us for something greater. A person who has never struggled, who has never faced hardship, will not be ready for the challenges of success. Strength is built through resistance. Just as a muscle grows through strain and pressure, our inner strength grows through life's struggles. There are times when struggles feel unfair. It may seem like some people have it easier while others carry heavy burdens. But comparison blinds us to the unique purpose of our own journey. No two lives are the same, and no two struggles are the same. The difficulties you face are shaping you for something that only you can accomplish. Every hardship is adding something to your life: wisdom, compassion, resilience, or faith. The things that seem to be holding you back might actually be the very things preparing you for your destiny. Struggles also give us the ability to help others. The person who has never known pain cannot truly understand the suffering of another, but those who have walked through the fire can extend a hand to those still in it. They can offer encouragement, wisdom, and hope. Your struggles are not just about you. They equip you to be a source of strength for someone else. The pain you endure today may be the very thing that allows you to make a difference in another person's life tomorrow. Difficulties will come, and there will be times when it feels like too much to bear. But when you remember that your struggles have a purpose, that they are working in you and through you, you can face them with a different mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you can ask, "What is this teaching me? How is this preparing me?" And when you start to see your struggles in this way, you will realize that they are not roadblocks but stepping stones, leading you to something greater than you ever imagined. Faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. One will always overpower the other. Fear whispers that you are not good enough, that you will fail, that there is no hope. Faith, on the other hand, declares that there is a way, that you are not alone, that there is a purpose even in uncertainty. In every moment of life, we are faced with a choice: to walk in fear or to walk in faith. Those who choose faith discover a strength that fear can never provide. Fear is powerful because it feeds on uncertainty. It magnifies problems and convinces people to stay where they are instead of moving forward. It tells them that the risk is too great, that the pain will be too much, that they are not capable. Fear is the enemy of progress. It builds walls where there should be doors. It keeps people trapped in their comfort zones, afraid to step into the unknown. It paralyzes dreams before they even have a chance to take flight. Faith, however, sees beyond the obstacles. It does not ignore challenges, but believes that there is a way through them. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting even when the answers are unclear. It is about stepping forward even when the path is uncertain. Faith allows people to take action, to move beyond doubt, to believe that they are being led towards something greater. It does not promise that the journey will be easy, but it assures that the journey will be worth it. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It convinces people that it is safer to stay where they are, that taking a risk is foolish. But what is truly foolish is letting fear dictate a person's life. Some of the greatest regrets people have are not the mistakes they made, but the opportunities they never took because they were afraid. Fear is a thief. It steals joy, dreams, and purpose. It tells people to settle for less than they are capable of achieving. But faith breaks those chains. It says, take the step. Believe that there is something greater ahead. Life will always present situations that seem overwhelming. Challenges will come that feel too big to handle. In those moments, fear will try to take control. It will whisper every possible negative outcome, every reason to turn back. But faith stands firm. It reminds us that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by our trust in something greater than ourselves. Faith says, even if I do not see the way, I will still move forward. Even if I do not understand, I will still believe. Faith gives people the courage to rise after failure. It reminds them that setbacks are not the end of the story. Fear tells people to quit, to walk away, to stop trying. But faith says, keep going. There is more ahead. It fuels perseverance, pushing people beyond their limits, allowing them to accomplish things they never thought possible. Every person who has done something great had to choose faith over fear. They had to step out when they were uncertain. They had to believe when others doubted. Faith is a choice. It does not mean the absence of fear, but it refuses to let fear control the outcome. It means trusting when things do not make sense. It means believing in possibilities even when circumstances say otherwise. Those who walk in faith find freedom. They are no longer held back by fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown. They live boldly, knowing that even when the road is difficult, they are never walking it alone. Failure is one of the greatest fears people have, yet it is also one of life's greatest teachers. Society often portrays failure as something shameful, something to be avoided at all costs, but the truth is, failure is not the end of the road. It is a necessary part of the journey. It is not a signal to stop. It is a sign to learn, to adjust, and to keep moving forward. Those who accomplish great things are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to let failure define them. Every successful person has faced failure. Every champion, every leader, every innovator has encountered moments where they fell short. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is perspective. Some people see failure as a permanent defeat, while others see it as a temporary setback. Some allow failure to discourage them, while others use it to fuel their growth. The ones who refuse to be stopped by failure are the ones who eventually rise above it. Failure is not proof that a person is incapable. It is proof that they are trying. It means they had the courage to step out, to take risks, to chase a dream. The only real failure is never trying at all. When people let the fear of failure hold them back, they rob themselves of opportunities to grow, to learn, and to succeed. The greatest regrets are not the mistakes people make, but the chances they never took. It is better to try and fail than to spend a lifetime wondering what could have been. Every failure carries a lesson. It reveals weaknesses that need to be strengthened, mistakes that need to be corrected, and directions that need to be adjusted. Failure forces people to grow in ways that success never could. It builds resilience, teaching them how to persevere when things do not go as planned. Without failure, there is no refinement. Without struggle, there is no strength. The setbacks people face today are preparing them for the victories of tomorrow. One of the greatest dangers of failure is letting it define identity. Many people fall and convince themselves that they are failures. They allow a single mistake, a single disappointment to determine their worth. But failure is an event, not a person. It is something that happens, not something that defines who someone is. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count, yet they did not let those failures stop them. They understood that failure was simply part of the process. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history came from people who failed repeatedly before they succeeded. Inventors, entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders have all faced rejection and disappointment. If they had stopped after their first failure, their contributions to the world would have never existed. What if Thomas Edison had given up after his first failed attempt at the light bulb? What if great authors had stopped writing after their first rejection? What if world-changing leaders had quit after their first defeat? The world would be a much different place. Failure is not the end because it always presents a choice. A person can either let it break them or let it build them. They can allow it to close doors or use it to open new ones. They can give up or they can get up and try again. The moment they choose to keep going, failure loses its power. It is no longer a barrier, it becomes a stepping stone. Those who refuse to quit, who learn from their mistakes, who rise after every fall, are the ones who ultimately succeed. Because in the end, failure is not what stops people, giving up is. Hope is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It has the ability to lift people out of despair, to reignite dreams that have been buried, and to provide strength in the darkest of times. When everything seems lost, when the weight of life feels unbearable, it is hope that keeps people going. Despair tells people that the struggle is pointless, that there is no way forward. But hope whispers that even in the midst of pain, there is a future worth fighting for. Life is filled with challenges, disappointments, and moments that test the human spirit. Everyone at some point faces trials that make them question whether they have the strength to continue. Some experience financial hardships, others battle illness, and many struggle with broken relationships or shattered dreams. Despair is a powerful enemy, convincing people that their problems are too big, that their situation is too hopeless. But history and experience show that even in the darkest moments, hope has the power to change everything. Hope does not ignore reality. It does not pretend that pain does not exist or that struggles are not real. Instead, it acknowledges the hardship while believing that something better is possible. Hope gives people the courage to endure, to push forward, to believe that their current circumstances do not define their future. It is what drives people to keep moving even when every step feels heavy. Without hope, people give up too soon. They let go of their dreams, they stop trying, and they settle for less than they are capable of achieving. But with hope, people find the strength to rise again. Throughout history, hope has been the force that carried people through the most unimaginable circumstances. Survivors of war, oppression, and personal tragedy have held on to hope when everything else was stripped away. It was hope that gave them the resilience to keep going, to believe that there was light beyond the darkness. The greatest leaders, inventors, and dreamers in history all had one thing in common. They refused to let despair have the final say. They faced failure, loss, and rejection, but they held on to hope, and that hope drove them to keep trying until they found success. Hope is not just for those who have experienced extreme hardship. It is for everyone. Every person at some point in life will face moments when despair tries to take over. It may come in the form of a dream that seems out of reach, a door that refuses to open, or a setback that feels impossible to overcome. In those moments, it is hope that keeps the heart beating with determination. Hope reminds people that their story is not over, that there is still a purpose ahead. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is often not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is hope. Those who continue to believe, even when the evidence seems stacked against them, are the ones who eventually break through. Hope fuels perseverance, and perseverance leads to victory. It is not a question of whether challenges will come. They will. It is not a question of whether life will have difficult seasons. It will. But the real question is whether a person will choose hope over despair, whether they will keep believing in the possibility of something greater. Hope is stronger than despair because it refuses to be defeated. It is the light that breaks through darkness, the anchor that keeps people steady in the storm. As long as there is hope, there is a reason to keep going. And as long as a person keeps going, they will eventually see that the struggles of today are not the end of their story, but just a chapter on the way to something greater. Life can often feel lonely. There are moments when the weight of struggles, disappointments, and fears becomes overwhelming, making it seem as though no one understands, no one cares, and no one is there to help. But the truth is, no matter how isolated a person may feel, they are never truly alone. There is always hope, always support, and always a purpose beyond the struggles they are facing. Everyone goes through seasons of hardship. There are days when burdens feel too heavy, when prayers seem unanswered, and when it seems like no one notices the pain hidden behind a smile. In those moments, it is easy to believe the lie that no one understands. But the reality is, many others have walked through similar valleys and have come out stronger on the other side. The struggles people face are not meant to isolate them. They are meant to remind them of the importance of connection, faith, and perseverance. Loneliness is one of the most painful experiences a person can endure. It is not just the absence of people, but the feeling of being unseen, unheard, and unloved. But even in the darkest moments, there is a truth that remains. No one is ever truly alone. There are people who care, people who want to help, and people who would gladly walk through the storm with them if they only reached out. Sometimes the hardest step is asking for support, admitting the need for encouragement. But when people take that step, they often find that they were never as alone as they thought. No struggle is permanent. No season of loneliness lasts forever. Even when circumstances seem unchanging, even when the road ahead appears empty, there is always a hand ready to lift those who are willing to take hold of it. Whether through the love of a family member, the kindness of a friend, or the support of a stranger, reminders of connection and love are always present for those who are open to receiving them. There is also great strength in knowing that struggles serve a purpose. Pain is never wasted. It builds resilience, deepens compassion, and allows people to relate to others in ways they never could before. Those who have felt loneliness the most deeply are often the ones who can offer the greatest comfort to others. Their own experiences enable them to extend a helping hand, to speak words of encouragement, and to remind others that they too are not alone. Sometimes loneliness is a reminder to reach out, to connect, and to strengthen relationships. In a world where people are constantly distracted, true connection requires effort. It means taking the time to call a friend, to listen without judgment, to let others know they are valued. The smallest act of kindness can remind someone that they are seen and appreciated. The simple truth is that no one was meant to go through life alone. Everyone needs encouragement, support, and a sense of belonging. Even in solitude, a person is never truly by themselves. There is always a presence greater than their struggles, a love that never fades, and a purpose that remains. Feelings of loneliness may come, but they do not define reality. They are temporary, while hope, love, and connection are lasting. Those who hold on to that truth will find the strength to keep going, knowing that no matter how they feel in a given moment, they are never truly alone. So if you are feeling alone, if you are struggling in silence, remember this: you are not alone. You are seen, you are valued, and you are loved more than you realize. There are people who care about you, who are willing to walk with you, and who want to see you rise above whatever you are facing. Do not let loneliness convince you otherwise. Reach out, hold on to hope, and keep moving forward. No matter how dark the night may seem, the dawn always comes. You are never truly alone, and your story is far from over.